Hi, this is Shupriyo. So again, I'm back with another session. Lots of you enjoyed that last video where I talked about the important things that clerical staff should remember, and you asked about the probationary officers. So yeah, let's talk about my mistakes that I made as a new SBI probationary officer. And oh boy, did I make lots of mistakes. And thinking about those things, I don't know what I feel, but yeah, maybe a little bit of regret, perhaps. But I learned a lot from that experience. What happened with me and the things that I didn't like. So I'll try to summarize things in this video, and I feel like I can write a book on this because there are so many things to talk about. But in this video, I'm just going to talk about 5 points. So, 5 things, 5 mistakes that I made as a new SBI PO. So, that's what I'm going to talk about. And I still remember, when I joined SBI, it was just this young kid who had never been outside his own city. So, I had never really gone outside my own city. And imagine me going to a new state. I don't know the language. I'm thrown into this small place, this small town. I don't know anybody over there. I have to live alone. I have to, do basically each and every single thing alone. And I have to also take care of my responsibilities at my branch and do the work to the best of my ability. So I try to do all of those things. And thankfully, the people of Karnataka, they are so, so good. And I am so grateful to Karnataka because it has given me a lot in my life and close friendships as well, and lots of genuine people. The person, my first landlord, so he almost loved me like his own son. Can you believe that? Like a guy who has come from a different state and you don't even know him and you help him out so much. So thank you to all the people of Karnataka, beautiful people, and maybe some of you are watching from Karnataka. So I owe a lot to you. Okay, so let's start with the first point, the first mistake that I did as an SBI PO. When I cracked SBI PO, I definitely thought that I had done something legendary, and everybody around me was so very happy. I mean, in my own city, in my own locality. So people would come up to me and say, "Oh my God, you are a SBI PO." So that status, that respect level, it goes through the roof. But once you enter the branch, then you understand that you have to come down to ground zero. So you have to come down to earth. You are not some celebrity or anything, and it kind of grounds you when you go to the first branch, when you first time go to the branch. And it's not even in the orientation, because your orientation will be at training center or maybe your LHO somewhere, and there you're going to be made feel very special, like you're going to feel very special in your orientation. But once you go to the branch, then you will understand that you're not that special. There are lots of other people working here, lots of people who have cracked the same exam, so you are at the same level. And in fact, you are going to find that you are a little lesser than those people. And to actually say this in Hindi, तुमको ऐसा लगेगा कि यार अरे मैंने तो सोचा था कि बहुत सारा बहुत कुछ उखाड़ लिया है, बट ये तो कुछ अलग ही दिख रहा है इधर. So that's the kind of feeling that you're going to get when you enter that branch. I remember that when I entered the branch, it was demonetization time, so total chaos. There were huge queues outside the branch, and I remember when I tried to enter that branch, I had gotten a little bit late because we were given our postings at the end of the day, the previous day, and we had to make a long journey to our posting area. And I got a little bit late, and branch had already started by then, and I got pushed by my own security guard, the branch security guard. Then I held up the paper and I showed to him that, hey, this is my branch and I have to report here. And immediately as he saw that paper, he just threw a salute towards me, and then he took me inside the branch. That was nice. And then you go into the branch and you find out that you are just one of the cogs in a wheel, right? So you have to do your duty diligently. You have to kind of do the best that you can and try to stay grounded. Don't feel that I am entitled to this much, that much, just because I have cracked an examination. No. Try to meet people. Don't be in your own shell. So try to meet people, try to interact with everybody, from the messengers to the security guards that you have, to the clerical staff, to officers, and each and every single one. Even the people in the branch, the customers that are coming in. So I remember the branch was very, very busy. When I actually first entered the branch, but after that, when you get to know the people, when you have some kind of a bond, then it becomes very special. So remember, you are not a big deal. So get that out of your head. Don't feel that you are entitled to many, many things. You are there to serve. You are there to serve your bank. You are there to serve the people. You are a government servant in a way, though some people don't treat it like that. But yeah, you are there to serve the people, serve the society, and do the best. So do your best, but don't have any arrogance, don't have any airs, and be humble. That's most important. Now I know what you're going to say, that the clerical staff, of course, they have a fixed working hours, but for officers, there's no fixed hours. So you are going to get that lecture from your controllers a lot. They are going to tell you that for officers, 24 hours you have to serve. You don't have any opportunity to go out of the branch on time. And that is not true, actually. So as a young probationary officer, so 2 years you have when you can escape the branch on time. So make use of this opportunity. 2 years you have. So how are you going to do that? You have to plan your day accordingly. And if you want to leave by 6 o'clock, and believe me, I have left by 6 o'clock in many, many branches, even by 5 o'clock in some branches. But you have to plan properly. So if you want to leave by 6, by 4 o'clock, you should start planning. You should start planning which are the kind of activities that you can do tomorrow, which are the kind of things that you have to just finish off before you leave. And that's how you have to plan your day. And also, not only just planning, you can have certain other strategies as well. So there's another strategy that you can use, though it's a bit risky, of not saying goodbye or good night to your manager. Now, clerical staff, they can escape easily, but for officers, it's a bit harder. But if you get into the habit of doing this, then your branch manager will understand that this guy or this girl is not going to say good night to me or goodbye to me, and they are going to leave. So a few times you may have to listen to some words from your manager, but you have to have that thick skin, And there's also some strategies that you can use. Now, I don't want to say these things. There are lots of strategies, actually, to be honest, and I have used a lot to escape. Otherwise, you can't do your studies, you can't do your personal work, whatever it is. And I used to live alone. I had to do everything on my own. So I had those kinds of how do I say, those strategies by which I could leave early. So one of the things that was actually shown to me by a friend of mine, a close friend of mine. So what he used to do, he used to come to the branch. There were two people. So one guy, he used to come to the branch without his bag. So in the morning itself, he'll come without a bag, and because he doesn't have a bag, so when he goes out of the branch, nobody knows that he's gone out. That's the interesting kind of a thing. Another guy, what he used to do, he used to bring the bag in the morning, but in the afternoon, when you're going for lunch, so nobody will ask you when you take your bag to go to your home, or you can go outside for lunch. So that's an interesting thing that you have to remember, that in a bank, if you want to have lunch, you can go outside and you can have lunch. Because see, most of us, like single guys or single women, we go outside to some roadside stalls or something. Maybe you have cooked something at your house, so you're going to the house and eating, so it doesn't make a difference. So you take your bag and you keep your bag at your house, like in the lunchtime, and then in the evening you can easily get out of the branch and nobody is going to ask you any single thing. So that's another strategy that you can use. There's also another strategy, so many are there. I'm going to stop it at this one. So this strategy is that you go out of the branch, do your work, and then you come back to the branch just to show your face to your manager, because your manager just needs to see your face. They don't need work. Understand this interesting thing. If you show your face, that's enough. You don't have to be very productive or anything. That's why sometimes when the managers were really, really bad, what I used to do was I used to study or do whatever it is at my desk, and I just used to sit there. Many people, they do this. Many people, they're just sitting there, and it's, I know, very inefficient, but that is how the world operates over here, the public sector banking world, and even most jobs in India, they demand the same thing. So what you have to do, basically, you are not going out of the permanently, you're not going out of the branch, you're going for a temporary measure. So if you have your house very near to your branch, and I always used to do this, I always used to take the lease, which is something very, very near to my branch. So I could easily go back to my house. Or if you have a bike, you can take your bike, go to your house, do your activities, maybe stay there for 40 minutes or 1 hour, and then you come back to the branch, show your face a little bit, and then you can do this, multiple times even. So you have to be a little bit tactful about it. Don't take too much time, because you have to explain to the manager as well if he asks you where you were for that time. If you have any urgent work that comes up suddenly at that time, it's a bit risky, but you can manage it. Even I used to do grocery shopping in the evening, and I used to shop for all the groceries, and I used to keep it at my house, and then I used to come back to the branch just to show my face, tell the manager, yes sir, I'm here, you don't have to worry about it, I have not gone home. So these are the kinds of things that you can do. I'm hopeful that you understood and you are going to take it up. So let's talk about the third one. Now, this one is a bit sensitive, and you have to understand when I'm saying don't allow people to push you around. Of course, if it's your boss, if it's your controller, your branch manager who is pushing you around, there's not much you can do. You have to listen to him, and you can't talk back to your branch manager, or if it's a lady, you cannot talk back to her. It's very important to understand this. But sometimes in some branches, what happens is that you have some clerical staff who are going to say some things to you, or they are going to dominate you in certain kinds of activities or something. And now 90% people are not going to be like this. So I don't want to hate on any clerical staff, and most of the clerical staffs that I have worked with are like, I think 99% have been great. But there's that 1% who think that you are a young kid, you are somebody who is very new to the organization, so you don't know certain things. Understand this. You don't know certain things, and they are trying to take advantage of you. They are trying to push you to do more work, even their work sometimes. So there was one guy at one of my branches. So I remember that he used to escape from his desk. He used to give his work to me, and then he would sit inside that server room. And bankers are going to know when I'm talking about the server room. So you have the AC over there, and you can do your work. He used to tell the branch manager that I have to do some taxation work, or I have to do some receivables work, or some kind of other branch activities, because he was handling lots of things. So he used to convince the branch manager that Shupriyo is the best person who's going to man my seat while I go do that. And the entire day he would be vanishing and I would be doing his work. So yeah, I let myself get taken advantage of in this way, and I regret it. Later on, I put my foot down, and I realized that I had more power than I understood. So you have to understand, you have a lot of power. Every clerical staff is actually, to be honest, below you in hierarchy. And this doesn't mean that you're going to dominate them, or you're going to give them extra tasks, or you're going to talk back to them. No. And you don't have to do that. Like for 99% people, you don't have to do that. But there's some percentage of people who feel that they are entitled to a lot more, that just because of their experience, they can talk back to you, or they can give you extra tasks or anything. So don't let those people dominate you. Don't let those people talk back to you or give you tasks, or just be rude to you. Shut that down. And you have to be very careful when you do that. Always have the confidence of your branch manager, and your branch manager should be on your side. And how do you arrange this? In the evening, sometimes you have to sit with your branch manager. You have to talk with the person that this is the problems that I'm facing, and just be open that I am not feeling part of the branch. So these are the things that I need to change. So if you talk about this, and then you tell him or her that I am going to take this decision, I am going to tell that person next time that he cannot give me the work. So only you are allowed to give me work. Like that clerical staff is not allowed to give me work. So understand this. You don't create a conflict, but sometimes you have to put your foot down. Sometimes you have to be firm. If you take everything lying down, believe me, your life is going to be hell. So you have to be very, very careful about these things. Do not let others take advantage of you, and always own your work. Do your work diligently. Don't take anything lying down. Now this thing I actually regret quite a lot, because I learned it very late. So what I used to think, and I talked about this in the clerical staff video, that you have to maintain a little bit of distance with the branch manager, and your relationship with the branch manager has to be a little different. But this changes if you are an officer. If you're an officer, you have to be on closer terms with your branch manager, because that's just how it operates, And what you have to do is, if needed, go out for lunch together, sometimes go help out his family or help out him whenever he needs any kind of things to be done on the weekends or anything. Build that relationship, and always understand that this branch manager is going to protect you whenever there's some extra kind of work that's coming from the regional office, or whenever you are in trouble, whenever you need your bills passed, or any single thing. So you have to invest in that relationship. And investing in this relationship does not mean that you are staying till 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock every night. No, that's not really necessary. You just have to be a person of accountability. So whatever work is given to you, finish it off in time, and then develop that kind of a bond. Joke around sometimes. In the evenings, talk about, you can have a common enemy. So this is something that you always can use, that if two people need to build a relationship, then if you have a common enemy, it really helps. So find out who that guy hates, who your branch manager actually hates, and both of you can together just talk bad things about that person. I know this is weird advice, I know, but it works. I promise you it works. And it just shows that you are on that guy's side. So that's how you have to do. And sit down for tea, snacks, go out for dinner sometimes if required. And now all these things you have to just be very careful. If you are a lady, don't do that kind of thing, that you are just letting him take you to dinner every day or something. So don't do those kinds of things. Like, if you're a guy, it's okay, but if you are a woman, so you have to maintain that distance. And I don't have to tell you that, you know it much better than I do. But yeah, you have to invest in that relationship. Understand this, because your branch manager, when that branch manager is going to get promoted, you are going to have somebody in the organization that knows you very well, who is in a very good kind of a post. So that really helps you in the longer run. So invest in the relationship. Don't neglect it. Don't always escape from any kind of social commitments. Go with the social commitment. Sometimes help out your branch manager whenever he or she needs it, and be somebody that's dependable. And I'm sure that that's going to help you out. Now, this thing is extremely difficult in SBI, saying no. So in any public sector bank, whatever the task is there, people expect you to say yes. So you have to be that yes man or yes woman. That's what you have to be. And just remember that if you say yes to something, it doesn't mean that you're going to always deliver on it. So sometimes, just to let their egos be settled, you have to say yes. But then you have to take some time to do that. Don't be somebody that is very nervous once they say yes to something. So that is how you have to do it. And you have to learn the art of saying no as well. Now, there are certain things that you have to be aware. So the more knowledge you have, the easier it is to say no. Because sometimes, there are some things that you can easily say no to. For example, your capability level. So in the CBS where you are going to work, so there's some capability level restrictions for probationary officers, so you cannot be given higher capability. And if you have to be given, then it has to be signed by your regional manager, and there's lots of formalities. So always read up on those rules and read up on your passing powers, so till how much you can pass. Because any kind of voucher comes to you, you have to authorize it, your sign will be there, and you have to pass that voucher so that the payment is done. So remember, you have to remember how much amount you are allowed, and don't exceed it. And always say no whenever this kind of a thing happens. And try to escape from signing things as well. So that is also something that's quite important, saying no for signing things. Now, I didn't know this, and I remember I was very worried. In my first branch, there was a banker's check payment, I think of 50 lakhs or something like that was there. And then I was really worried because two officers had to sign, and I was one of the people. So my PBD manager, the personal segment manager, that manager signed and I signed. So hopefully nothing went wrong, thankfully. But yeah, I was very worried about it. And later on, I came to know that my signature should not have been there, and I didn't know about that. So make yourself aware about it, and don't sign things unnecessarily. Even on the loan documents, even if you are working processing some loans or anything, your signature should not be there. You have to get other officers to actually sign it. So remember these kinds of things. And also, to say no you directly cannot say no, right? So what you have to sometimes smile and you have to joke with your branch manager that, oh sir, come on, you're again asking me to do this. Come on sir, tomorrow I'll do it. Or just smile at him and say that, okay, it should be something of a inside joke. It's very difficult to explain how you're going to achieve this, but if you achieve this kind of a bond, like in the previous point I said, you have to build up that bond. So once you have built up that bond, you are going to sort of jokingly say, okay sir, come on, you gave me this again. Last day I have done this thing for you, or 2 days before I have done this thing for you. Tomorrow I'll do it, sir. Sir, please, tomorrow I'll do it. No problem, sir. Something like this, You can't say, no, sir, I cannot do this. This is not right. This is, etc., etc. That is rude. So you have to tackle that kind of a thing. It's very difficult to convey. I hope you understand what I'm trying to say. You have to kind of be a little bit relaxed about it. A little bit relaxed, no, you have to say. So understand these things. Understand the language that your branch manager uses. So some people are more friendly, others are a bit more reserved, they are a bit more formal. So you have to calibrate your approach in that kind of a way. You have to learn that what is that person actually expecting from me, and then you have to move forward. So if you do these things, I am pretty sure that your life is going to be much better. It's going to be better than mine, for sure. I for sure made lots of mistakes, but yeah, those things were educational. And even if some things you regret, let me tell you that at the end of the day, it's going to make you a better person. It's going to make you somebody who's much more intelligent, much more knowledgeable. Your personality is going to be developed over the long run. So try to have less regrets. Even today, I try to forget about those things that went wrong or people that were bad to me. So forgive others and move forward, because that's what you should be doing. That's the better way forward. I hope that you learned something from this video and that it was beneficial to you. If you enjoyed it, please click on the like button and share it with your friends. And if you want to see more of this kind of content, please click on the subscribe button and do not forget to click the bell icon so that you, my friend, do not miss any future update. I'll see you again in another interesting video. Bye-bye.